Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great most honorable well, and shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. And this is going to be a lesson around the relationship, man, between America and Russia, the superpowers, and what it means in prophecy, where it's going, And I was looking into a bit of information, and I wanted to just bring out a bit of information and go into the scriptures. And, without further ado, man, I'll start the lesson. So, pretty much, I was talking about at camp last week how I mentioned how McDonald's, because we were going into, different businesses and the fornication that comes out of America. Okay, these different businesses and merchants that are in bed with America, which that's Revelation 18, I'm going to get that. That's one way that the earth, the kings of the earth commit fornication with Babylon, which is America. And, McDonald's, for example, that's one of the biggest fast food chains. It's a symbol of that, that corporate, the American corporate powerhouses, in a sense. Now, and what it symbolizes. Now, you had the fall of the Soviet Union, the collapse of the Soviet Union, okay? And, it was happening through processes of different things that were happening, and they were slowly losing power. And, at one point, man, the USSR, that was a major threat. You had the, Cold War, you had the whole commies thing, and when you look at, they all that propaganda, it was a Cold War, man, okay? Because they were worried that, look, because Russia had nukes, so they were worried that, look, Russia could actually pretty much nuke these guys at any moment, all right? And they had a presence of power, okay, in the USSR, the Soviet Union bloc, reaching out very far, man, even into Europe. So I'm going to play a short clip, just, go into it. Hopefully they don't... Actually, I don't know if I'm going to play the clip. I'm not sure if they're going to clip my channel because it's CNBC. But pretty much I'll just do some stills, right? It says the opening of the first Russian McDonald's was a big deal, all right? And it was basically symbolizing the loss of power of the Russians, in a sense, if you can get that kind of business in Russia. Because before that, you didn't have any Western things over there. And they were even going into the mannerisms of the people in Russia, how they were usually more serious, but, they had that corporate smiling shit that you have, that BS, where people weren't even used to it. So you had that Babylonian culture infiltrating into Russia, man. All right? Now, East Germany, all right, had, they were basically a satellite state. In fact, let's type that. Let's go into that satellite. Let's see what that is. Satellite state. A satellite state is a country that is formally independent in the world, but under heavy political, economic, and military influence or control from another country. Now, East Germany had its governing body, right? And you had East Berlin, all right? Now it says Germany before the reunification in 1990. Now Germany's unified in Europe, okay? But at one point you had heavy influence from the Soviet Union, led by Russia, okay, on that part of the world, man. And that's why you had the wall. Now in 1989, okay, it says the fall of Berlin Wall, how 1989 reshaped the modern world. Why? Because that was like almost a border of the Soviet Union. Okay, it was a foothold. Okay, now this goes into how the wall fell down, but the main part is this: the wall came down partly because of a bureaucratic accident, but it fell amid a wave of revolutions that left the Soviet-led communist bloc teetering on the brink of collapse and helped define a new world order. Okay, the key part, because remember, this is the agenda of the so-called white man. Okay, Esau, which Esau really Esau's in power in both, but the scriptures say if Satan be divided against Satan, how shall his kingdom stand? You know, there's all kind of politics going on. Now, the first scripture I want to get is in Revelation 18, verse 2. Actually, I'll start from the top. It says, and after these things I saw another angel, and the title on the blue letter here, it says Babylon is fallen, and that's talking about the fall of America, which is coming soon. All right. It says, and after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. You know, and you know, this is, so America's going to fall. And there's a quick precept on this. Let me get Isaiah 34, right? Just so we understand what that's talking about, because people might be starting getting messed up when it says, and it's become the habitation of devils. Let's go into that. What am I looking at? Bear with me. This is Isaiah 34 and 11. Actually, I'll start from 10. It shall not be quenched night or nor day. What ain't going to be quenched? The destruction. The smoke thereof shall go out forever. Why? Because you're going to have the smoke billowing out of that. Because remember, America's going to become a whole lake of fire. That's going to happen through the thermonuclear nukes, man. Okay? It's just going to be, the whole place is going to be on fire. It's going to be obliterated. All right? It says, it shall not be quenched night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever. From generation to generation it shall lie waste. So for a long time, okay, the smoke is going to be going up. You're going to see the smoke from that fire, from that destruction. And everyone's going to see it, man, because it's going to be a great spectacle of what's going to happen to Babylon, you know, America, man. From generation to generation it shall lie waste, and none shall pass through it forever and ever, because it's not going to be inhabited, all right, by man. It says, but the cormorant is going to become a forbidden zone. But the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it. You know, and you look at cormorant's it's an unclean bird. It's unclean to eat. It's a bird, okay? And the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it. The owl also, that's another one. And the raven shall dwell in it, and he shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion and the stones of emptiness. All right? The reason why that is because right now, you know, you got borders, you got states. There's going to be none of that. Okay? It's just going to become a great desert land. And you're going to have desert dwelling creatures there, man, and birds. All right? So that's what that's going into in the second part of Revelation 18 and 2. The cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. Now, one way that they do this, okay, is economic hitmen. What they did is they would send out, you know, they would basically make offers to these different nations, and if they didn't comply, you know, then they will start, you know, all of a sudden revolutions will start happening in that country, you know. CIA will start getting involved. You start getting infiltration, man. All right, until they get what they want, which is the resources and the people. It says, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath. The wine, talking about what? Philosophies of the wrath of her fornication. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. How have they done that? By being in bed with America. These business deals, man. All right. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. All right, so you know that's what it's dealing with. Now, going back to the point, you know, this is an example of that fornication. Now, the fact that when I was watching this video, you know, McDonald's amongst many other companies, large companies, had started to basically cease operations or pull out slowly or not invest anymore in Russia. Why? Because of the Ukrainian invasion. So the scriptures talk about what? Wars and rumors of war. So what time are we in? Okay, we're in this time. This is Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 2. It says, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. Now let's see if I can get an ancient map. Gog and Magog map. Ancient. Let's see what I can get. That's a decent one, yeah. Pretty much, man. Look, Gog and Magog, that is talking about Russia, man. Okay, this is talking about Russia. Okay, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Baal Shemi Shai, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. All right, so the Lord ain't with Russia. Russia's just a tool that the Lord is using. Okay, Russia's not going to be the next superpower. Okay, all of these Edomite nations are going to bow down to Israel. The Israel is going to be, Jerusalem is the epicenter. That's going to be where, that's going to be the you know, where it's at on the earth, man. The chief. And it says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. You know, Israel, man, the land of Israel. Okay, our land. It says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army. Now, what does it mean to put them hooks into them jaws? The Lord is going to basically, when you yank someone, you turn them back. Okay, what's the Lord turning Russia back into? That USSR spirit, man, that Soviet Union spirit. You know, that's why you got people, you know, them branching out. That's why you got them allies. That's why they got articles about them threatening that they got hypersonic missiles. They got missiles that can, one of the first places they're going to hit, you know, other than America, it's talking about London too. America, I mean, England. Okay. Salakia, you know, I'm a bit excited. It says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. And it is exciting. It's exciting, man, to know that, hey, the Lord willing, you know, I hope I'm of that number, and I have faith. Okay, I have faith. I believe that you know, that's why I'm doing this work. I hope to be saved. Okay, we humbly say, as starting with our apostles and elders, you know, we're of the hopeful elect. Okay, and you know, we're gonna see that destruction, man. It's gonna be beautiful. And it says, I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. So that's the military, okay, and all its facets. All right, it says Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Why? Because these are states that are in league with Russia. Okay, I'm going to deal with Persia in a second. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north cause, and all his bands, and many people with thee, even Turkey. All right. Now, so pretty much, you know, Russia, they're gonna go at it, man, and they're also gonna have their army in the Middle East, which they've already, you know, got army over there in Syria. You know, there's tension there between proxy wars going on between the Soviet, you know, America and Russia. Okay. But hey, there's allies, man. You know, Russia's very close with China. Okay, and it mentions Persia. Now, Persia was the name, okay, of modern day Iran. Okay, and this is what the scriptures say regarding the Persians. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and 30. It says also the Carmenians. Now, when you let's look at Carmenians. Let's see if we can find out some information. Who were they? Let's see what Google has to say. The Carmenians were a warlike people who were said to live and fight like Medes and Persians. Except that they used donkeys even in war, horses were scarce. Right. Now what that's talking about is, you know, it mentioned the Persians, it's talking about Iran. Okay. What was Iran called before? Persia. Alright. Also the Carmenians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power. What's that great power? It's going to have its allies, Russia and, I keep saying America, Russia and China. And with great power shall they come, and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. All right? So, you know, Iran's going to have a part to play in this war, man. That's why, you know, when you look at the, you know, videos of the Iranian army and all that, they're burning American flags. They're not really with that Babylonian philosophy, man. Okay? So there's a divide, a clear divide in this man's kingdom, man. And as the law said, divided. Let's get that. This is Matthew 12:26, and it says, "And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand?" And ultimately, Esau's kingdom is gonna fall, man, and the Lord is gonna we're gonna be up in them lands, the Russias, the Chinas, and we're gonna be getting these heathen in check, man. All right. So that's what's coming. That's part of the prophecy that's coming to this place. So, hey, this is, Lord willing, this has been an edifying lesson, man, in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmi Al Shai Bashmi Kakadash. With that, man, I'm going to say Shalom.